What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers Podcast, episode 158. Let's go. We are back with another UFC fight night to talk about coming up this weekend. Another Apex event. Second Apex event? Yeah, second Apex event of the year so far, which I feel like to be halfway through the February, the fifth fight card to be the second one, I feel like that's pretty decent in terms of what the UFC has been.
So they're 3-2 in Apex.
Yeah, I feel like that, I don't know. I feel like last year would have been more.
Okay, hear me out, though. The pay-per-views were pretty close together, so the fact that we're only at February 9th and we've had 2 pay-per-views, it's like there's also that, and we skipped a week in January.
That is also true.
That is true.
I'm not really sure
next week
about
we're on the road at least, so
it does seem like they're trying to do a bit better, but I just wouldn't give it too much credit right now.
For sure. Slowly but surely, like you said, just seeming like they might start to be trying to get out of there, but we're still going to get plenty of Apex events because they save too much money to not go there. It just makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
But we do have some pretty solid fights coming from this one. Main event for this card, 185 pounds, third week in a row of UFC fight cards getting headlined by the middleweight division. This time, big implications for one Jared Cannonier, the Killer Gorilla, defending his top 10 spot against unranked motherfucking Robocop Gregory Rodrigues. Very surprising fight booking when this one happened. Definitely was not expecting it at all. But coming up on fight week now, how you guys feeling about this fight and this fight card?
I'm still surprised that they went to this fight.
No, for real. It really is like one of those fights where it's just like, I get trying to jump shot someone into the rankings, but I feel like there were people below Cannonier they could have gone to first.
Exactly, because it's like Jared Cannonier is ranked number 7. Like, saying top 10, it's like, he might be number 9, number 10, which is like a big jump, but not too crazy. It's like that's closer to top 5. Like,
for sure.
He is on a good little run, 3-fight winning streak. Dennis Tui Llewellyn, not the best, whatever, but he finished him the way that he should, so that's good. Brad Tavares and then Christian Leroy Duncan, he definitely looked like good in his fights. So I agree he should be getting a top fight, but I'm still just like, damn, I can't believe they did this to Jared, who's 40 years old. He has much more experience, and so I don't know how that's going to play out, but it's like just the way he's been looking recently, I feel like age might be catching up to him, and Robocop might look his age, but he's 32, he's in his prime, and he could probably put him out.
It definitely is, like you said, just still very surprising for sure. It definitely could have gone to other guys, but it's one of those things where it's obviously like, okay, Robocop's like just a big hitter, just a very solid guy on his way up. But I feel like this is a pretty favorable matchup for Jared Cannonier.
It's a good enough step back.
Yeah, because it is a very big step back from the level of competition that he has been fighting. And it's like he's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. That he got the stoppage loss to Nasruddin Imavov, has the unanimous decision loss to Kyle Baralho. It's like the Nasruddin one, he wasn't looking bad in that one. And then, had the early stoppage that, was just kind of controversial. And then he did get shut out against Kyle. But it's like, just Kyle's a very good mover on the feet. He's very powerful, very just solid all around, I feel like Robocop just being a bit more plotty, that Jared's gonna be the better mover on the feet. I feel like just being in there against all this guys that he has fought, just all that experience, like you mentioned, I feel like that's really gonna help him. And it's like Robocop has been finished before too. Like he can definitely get put out. I feel like Jared's a very good hitter and just a very skilled enough striker. I would not be surprised if first, second round knockout Jared walks out of here with a victory, snapping this losing streak.
No, and that's entirely and that's entirely possible. I think this is one of those fights though where we're gonna see Gregory Rodrigues actually come in and utilize his grappling. They bring it up every time he fights. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt, all this stuff, and this is very much the fight. If he's gonna utilize that grappling, this is the fight to do it in.
And that's where it's like they always bring that up, but it's like he grabs takedowns in so many of his fights. Like literally his last 3 fights he scored takedowns in. Didn't get a takedown against Bruno Fajeda because it ended super quick. Took down Chidi, took down Armor Petrosian, fucking Iron Turtle. Like he's out here grabbing takedowns pretty consistently throughout fights, but it's not as concerted an effort like in his general work like that,
yes.
That he could be doing.
No, yes, exactly. I think this is going to be one of those fights where he's definitely going to be going for the takedown. He's definitely going to be able, he definitely can get it. Jared like has some pretty decent takedown defense, but like some of the people he's fought like aren't the best takedown artists either. Like Nasruddin Imavov is like, can grapple, but he's not the greatest takedown artist. Kyle Braulio, I think, kept it on the feet the whole time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, didn't shoot a single takedown, I'm pretty sure, in that one.
And then Brunson, but that's also Brunson. Like, he got reversed, or Jared took him down or hurt him and then just elbowed the hell out of him. Which is one of those things. It'll be very interesting to see, like, how the grappling goes in this fight, because I think that's going to be a huge part of Robocop's game plan, the grappling.
No, yeah, that it's fair. I'm not like, I feel like he will grab them, but I'm just still not even too sure of just how like consistent he's really going to try and go for it, because I just wouldn't be surprised if it, because it's like he's 4 inches taller, 6'3" to 5'11" for Robocop. Jared does have a 2.5 inch reach advantage. I wouldn't be surprised if just like Robocop loves to go out there and bang. He knows that like he's 32 years old, 7-2 in the UFC. This is his big step up, a big opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, let me go out there, knock out Jared, and cement myself inside of that top 10. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, and I get that, but I think like that's one of those things where he can still do that while taking him down in like the way he did against Tuli Lulilin, where he takes him down and just vicious ground and pound.
Yeah, that's fair. Jared definitely very physical. Like like you said, he has been taken down in like a good amount of his fights, but not like he gets. It's never something where it's like you're seeing Jared going out there getting ragdolled or anything, So that would definitely be interesting to see how against a real top level fighter, even though an aging Cannonier, just how he can actually work his grappling in the division.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is going to be the grappling that's going to be the main difference maker in this fight for Robocop, and then the power and like Jared Cannonier just being a very clean technical striker, being able to land that shot that could put out Robocop is definitely going to be what Cannonier's
100%. And because it's like it's just one of those things where it's like, I know Jared Cannonier is 40 years old. He's now on a 2-fight losing streak, which is the first time he's been on a 2-fight losing streak in 185 pounds in the UFC. So it like the floor can just drop out underneath him at any point, Yes. I'm not entirely convinced yet that it has actually happened. You know what I mean? Because it's just like his 2 losses, the next 2 guys that should be challenging for the middleweight title, other than Hamza. You know what I mean? So I don't know. The Marvin Vettori performance wasn't far away enough for me where I'm still holding on to that a bit too. You know what I mean?
I understand. Because he looked fucking great in there, and it wasn't even a whole 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, he put a beating on Marvin Vettori, like a generational beating on Marvin Vettori.
Yeah.
So,
pretty sure it's still the most significant strikes landed in a middleweight fight to this point.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wonder if either Strickland or DDP passed that in their fight, in their first one. But
either way, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, even if it's still number 1, I would not be shocked at all.
But yeah, so very intriguing main event for sure at 185 pounds. It definitely would be better for the division for Robocop to be able to get it done and just get himself into the mix. But I will for sure be rooting for the Killer Gorilla in this one to come out on top. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, what are you trying to?
Yeah, I want to see if that actually.
Because I did look it up, and it was 428 thrown for Jared. So I don't know if you're looking at the Strickland ones.
I was looking at landed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Landed. Okay. Because I think it was 257 he landed.
241, and he is still number 1. Strickland versus Uriah Hall is number 2. But significant strikes attempted is Strickland versus Uriah Hall at 428.
Damn. Yeah. So just a great performance for Jared in his last win against Marvin Vettori. But we'll see how that one plays out. Co-main event though, I am also incredibly intrigued to see how this one plays out, because just very similar things. Calvin Kattar, it never didn't get quite as, to the highest level of the division that Jared Cannonier did, but a very good top 10 guy taking on Youssef Zalal, back in the UFC on a good streak now, getting all finishes, looking to get that top 15 ranking.
Yeah.
How you guys feeling about this one heading into it?
So I didn't realize that Calvin Kattar was 36 and actually going to be 37 in March. So the end of 36.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's had a rough run in just like kind of bad luck. You know what I mean? A split decision loss to Josh Emmett that a lot of people thought he should have won, just a close fight,
Yeah.
And then the knee injury 8 seconds into the second round of the Arnie fight, where it's like, okay. And then the one clear and just true loss in the decision loss to Aljo, April of last year.
Yep, just getting ragdolled in that one.
Yeah. It's like now you have this young up and coming guy. You kind of got fucked out of the last like 3 years of your career with like these losses and injuries and stuff, which was like the end of your prime of your career at that. And now you have Youssef, who is 28 years old. He has been on a run. He might not be as big and strong and like physical as Aljo, but he's scrambly. He definitely is physical, and he's way more of a submission threat. Like Aljo, like he has that physicality, but he doesn't go for it as much, even when he gets dominant positions. Like, people calling him the human backpack, but how many fucking RNCs has he actually gotten in the UFC? You know what I mean? Like, he might get these positions, but he doesn't do a whole lot with it,
Yeah. Because, 16 wins in the UFC for Aljo, 4 submissions. So it's like...
Yeah. And then you have Youssef that's just like, just been on a tear, and like decent names at that. A rear naked choke over Billy Q when he came back. That's very solid.
Yep.
Rear naked choke first round over Jarno Aarons, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second round arm triangle choke over Jack Shore, which again was very solid.
Yep.
Now you're taking on Kattar, who has been on like a bad streak. He's on the older side. Is this just kind of how Kattar's career is going to go, or is he healthy? He's still young enough to have a bit of a fire under his ass to take on a young up and coming guy who hasn't like proven himself,
No,
It's
going to come down to how this fight starts, because Calvin is a slow starter. He's kind of like Cheeto and Yana that way, where he kind of does not do a lot in the first round a lot of the time. So if Zalal is able to capitalize on that, it's going to be real hard for Kattar to catch up, especially in a 3-round fight. And he can overextend himself. Zalal ducks under a straight right and grabs a takedown, and then it's just going to be, one of those things where he just is going to have to try and defend throughout the last 2 rounds, trying to get up to his feet. And it just, I don't know. I feel like this might, like, I love Kattar, but like I feel like this might be just Zalal's just going to be too physical, too strong.
And the thing is, I think he will start off aggressive. Like, he's not just going to sit there and be slow with him. Like, that's how he's been.
Exactly.
Every fight that he's been coming out, it's right at it.
Yeah, because I don't know. I really don't know how this is going to play out, because I was just saying that, like, Youssef's going to be, like, just too physical and strong. It's like, I really just don't know if that's actually going to be the case, like, against him. But then it's like, even if, because Youssef is going to go after him, like, very early in the fight, like, he's going to put the pressure on. But it's like, bro, if Calvin's able to get that jab landing, like, going in the first round, it doesn't matter if he's fucking starting slow. If he's able to just time it good and, like, just keep Youssef, like, backed off with it, it's like, if Youssef just goes too forward and, like, if he's not able to really grab takedowns too much, like, he's going to be getting jabbed up, touched up with the hands, and it could just go really badly for him, too. Like,
and I was saying that he doesn't have the same, like, physical and, like, strength as Aljo, but the pressure that he puts forward right away. And that's why I'm just saying, like, is Calvin going to be, like, a bit on the older side now, damn near 37, and just those questions of, like, then will Youssef, like, be able to take over with because he is aggressive, he doesn't have the same physicality and strength as someone like Aljo, but he's aggressive and he has pressure. So that's where it's like, how is Kattar going to look? You know what I mean? Just the questions.
No, I definitely get it. Because I feel like as long as he's, like, not too old or anything, you know what I mean? Then it's like, because he is for sure built for, like, better over 5 rounds and stuff. Like, that is definitely. So it's like, I feel like if the first round doesn't go great for Youssef, then just kind of looking ahead of 2 and 3, I'm like, okay, this could start just getting worse for him,
No, yeah.
I feel like Youssef, he's got to start good and hot, and if it's like he's able to get it going, get Kattar down, just get those grinding positions, then I feel like it'll probably start to come easier. But so the first round is going to play key, the takedown attempts of Youssef, and then the jab of Kattar. Those are really what I'm looking for of round 1.
I will say Kattar has not been subbed since 2008. It was his 1 sub loss. And then I'm going to assume that his 1 KO loss was the thing that says loss but doesn't say how in 2010. Since then, he has not been finished.
Yeah, or probably the Arnie, the KOTK loss because of the injury.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Okay. So then doesn't count. He's never been knocked out. Was subbed once in his 4th professional fight in 2008.
Look, I know
it's like he got. You go.
I was about to say, I know we talk about Max Holloway not being a power puncher, but you take what fucking 400, 500 strikes from Max fucking Holloway. I don't know what the hell is gonna knock out a fucking sledgehammer, maybe.
Yeah. And it's like, Aljo got 8 takedowns on him in his last fight, but it's like the last time he was taken down before that, it was Zabit scored 1 takedown against him in 2019. So it's like 72% takedown defense overall. He's not fighting great grapplers, consistently, mostly strikers, but it's like he just very solid there.
Just interested. It's scary.
It's a rough fight for both of them. Just the biggest test for Youssef, 3-fight win streak now in the UFC, and then it's like 3-fight losing streak for Kattar, just testing to see if he can still actually hang at the top 10 and you know what I mean? Just a great fight overall. Can't wait to see how it plays out, and it just sucks because I never want to root against Kattar or anything, you know what I mean? But it's like I just fucking love Youssef Zalal, man, and I really would. It would be awesome if he could get it done and just prove himself in the top 15 of this division.
It'd also kind of be better for the future of the division and all that for Zalal to get in there.
I mean, fucking him calling out Ilya and shit in his last win, like he's coming for that fucking shit. Like, let's fucking go. Let's go. But great co-main event for sure in that one. And the featured bout, 155. I always talk about it. It's fucking violence. This is gonna be a damn good fight right
this is
here.
A fun fight.
Ismael Bonfim taking on Nazim Sadykhov. I'm really not too sure how I feel about this one or who's gonna come out on top. But I don't know, Kate, if you got an inkling on who you think's gonna win this one.
Okay, so I think that Bonfim might be able to get it. And the reason why I say that, like, the solidifying fight for me was Vince Pitchell. He looked really fucking good in there. Vince, I know, on the older side, but definitely just a vet, good experience, good fighter. And Bonfim looked very good against him. I remember going into it, you talking about he needs to take him down. He should not stand with him. And he just on the feet just did his damn thing. Looked very impressive. Nazim is definitely like more of a striker as well. And so it's like when it comes to, he got the RNC over T-Rex, but he did that in the second round, so that's less impressive. I guess they both knocked him out in the second round. I don't know. I feel like
T-Rex didn't he take him down and control him throughout all the first round, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, I don't know, I just feel like T-Rex is all first round, you're in and out right there and then there. So just seeing the second round in 2 fights is like, damn, really? Anyway, it's like, I don't know. I feel like when you get the win over T-Rex, it's one of those fights where it's like, it's fun, but it doesn't really say much because it's kill or be killed. I guess you didn't get killed, and that's good. Evan Elder, and then he had a banger of a fight with Slava Claus, but going to a draw with Slava Claus and a sloppy ass fight doesn't necessarily show that you're above and better, So I just feel like I've seen a bit better things from Bonfim, even just within that one fight, that I think he should be able to get it done. But I do think it's going to be a lot of fun no matter what. He might be able to get it done. Who knows?
I think this fight's going to be real interesting because both these guys have only ever lost via submission. So I wonder, one, who's going to take it to the ground first? How are they going to take it to the ground? And whoever goes for it first, are they going to get reversed? And then that's going to be the beginning of the end for them. And then they're the ones who are going to end up. This is a very interesting fight because of that fact. Both only losing because of submission.
That's true.
Both of them, have won most of their decisions. Sadykhov obviously having the one draw, and then it's going to be interesting. I do think Bonfim Bonfim should be able to get it. Just one of those things with Sadykhov where he can win that.
Yeah.
It's just going to be very interesting to see like what each of their game plans is going to be so interesting because of the fact both of them have only won via submission, have only lost via submission. Either have been KO'd, TKO'd. So honestly, I can see this fight kind of going either way. I am going to lean Bonfim.
Yeah, it should probably be able to get it done. I do think that, like you said too, just like the win with Vince Pitchell, definitely the better second win in for him in the UFC than Nazim Sadykhov, with the win over Evan Elder, which isn't a bad win either.
No, yeah.
But yeah, and then even just the fact of like it was November of 23 that draw happened with Nazim, you know what I mean? Hasn't fought since, 2 canceled fights. So that it's been a little while since he's fought, over a year at this point, 30 years old, doesn't have a ton of experience or anything. So I feel like time away and from the octagon would affect someone like him more than someone like Ismael Bonfim, 29 with 20 going into his 25th fifth pro fight. You know what I mean? So
I was gonna say Bonfim definitely also has more experience, and it's like he has 4 losses on his record, one of them in the UFC to BSD, which, fine. The other 2 of the 3 are Moicano in 2014 and Adriano Moraes in 2011.
Yeah, he's a fucking kid at that point. And then also fighters that ended up doing great things.
Exactly what I'm trying to say, that it's like, even going to his debuting or his regional days, I don't know who Jefferson Lucas is, just whatever. But again, that was 2011, and we're talking about a guy that is 29 years old. So... child. But it's like 3 of them just being like, okay, like I get it, even back to the regionals, it's like I think Bonfim can do better things
for sure. Let's go. Definitely should be a banger of a fight. Probably ends up going to a decision. I'm not sure if either one of them will be able to get the finish, but good though.
I feel you on that one.
The main card, the other fights,
I don't get the order and why they got some of these here.
Again, because really Edmen Shahbazyan, he's back, good for him, but he's fighting Dylan Budka, so it's like, all right, just really trying to give him a fight so he doesn't go 50-50 in the UFC.
Well, okay, you want to know why this is good for Edmen? Is because Dylan Budka will get gassed. Like, that is his biggest fucking problem. And true. Edmen also kind of has that problem, but I think Dylan gets way more gassed.
The mindless Hulk? You think the mindless Hulk gets more gassed?
I think Edmen might be able to keep it together a bit better.
Yeah, probably. He's far way better level of competition.
Yes.
And stuff.
100%.
0-2 in the UFC, where Edmen 6-5. It's like, it's taken plenty of losses, but it's like fucking Derek Brunson, Jack Hermanson, Nasruddin, Fluffy, and GM3. You know what I mean? Literally every single one of them in the top 15 were in the top 15, other than GM3. Who literally the most submission wins in middleweight history. So it's So. But Edmen probably gets it done. Just it's still crazy that he's fucking 27 years old too, man.
Yeah, young as hell.
Yeah. Not quite sure if he's ever really gonna put it together to get anything done in this division, but I'm sure he's making pretty decent money at least. So
yeah, and
he's probably doing good enough.
He has left Harvardian, so that's always a plus when you do that. He's over at Extreme Couture now, so he's got a good team behind him. So I feel like he should be able to start putting things together.
Oh yeah. And then I do think that Rodolfo Vieira back taking on Andre Petroski, not too bad of a fight. Both of them on 2 fight winning streaks. Petroski beating Dylan Budka and Josh Frem both by unanimous decision. Not impressive there. No. Then you have Rodolfo Vieira getting submissions, both arm triangles over Cody Brundage and Armin Petrosian. Much better wins there and getting the finishes. So let's go Rodolfo Vieira by first or second round sub.
Yeah, probably.
So he's going to beat Petrosian and then Petroski.
Yes.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But it should be. It should 100% be Rodolfo Vieira coming out one.
Yeah, it's like I just don't believe that someone that's a grapple heavy fighter in Andre Petroski who managed to knock himself out on a takedown attempt is going to be able to win in the grappling against Rodolfo Vierira. You know what I just...
Yeah, that's so true.
Exactly.
Damn, I always
forgot about that.
That will never leave my brain ever. That is just
my God.
a crazy fucking thing to ever happen of... Yeah, man, that's a rough one. Let's go Rodolfo Vierira, probably by Gilly, I would say. Petroski's probably going to shoot the first takedown. So yeah, let's go. Other than that, on the prelims, we do got a couple fights with top 15 implications on the prelims. They should all be on the main card over some of those other fights. Easily the one to bring up first, Valter Walker and Don'Tale Mayes, top 15 at heavyweight. Let's fucking
like they definitely ranked Don'Tale so that Valter could win and be top 15, right?
Bro, I don't know what they're doing with the rank. Like they're just trying to get names in there. Like I don't even know if they really care what names there are. They're just putting names in, you know.
But I feel like they had to have, because it's like Don'Tale Mayes is 4-5 in the UFC, won no contest.
Yep.
And he lost his last fight.
Yep.
Hasn't fought since August and got put in the rankings like a week ago.
Yep.
He lost to
Shamil, top 15 fighter in Shamil Gazif.
He lost to Shamil in his last one. Beat Caio Machado, which means nothing in the UFC.
Yes.
Lost to Nascimento, who's no longer in the UFC. Beat Arlovsky and lost to Augusto Sakai.
Yeah.
I'm mad we're spending this much time talking about it.
This dude is not good.
Yeah, it's a funny one.
To be fair,
anyway,
Valter Walker is also not good. So
yeah, no,
it'll be hilarious.
This is gonna be a terrible fight. I'm super not excited. I'm not gonna pay attention.
I hope
that's the thing. You gotta find the glory
in the
badness.
I hope Don'Tale Mayes wins this fight.
Thank you.
I hope Valter Walker wins, so he's a top 15 fighter. Go on.
Okay, because the thing is, I'm excited for multiple fights on here. But I feel like I have to bring up this one because I have Jacqueline Cavalcanti on my draft, and she's taking on Julia Avila, and this is another fight that has top 15 implications. Yep. I mean, they're 12 and 13, but either way, just another win for Jacqueline to get. Very good for her.
Yep, 3-0 in the UFC, so just
27 years old, like just
the only the only hope of life in the 135-pound division. Yes. So just getting a win over another top 15 contender in Julia Avila. Avila, who, I mean, 3-2 in the UFC, so it's not like it's anything impressive, but it's just another name on the resume.
Right, and she's only 36, so she's not as old as she could be.
Very true.
But I mean, Cavalcanti should win this. Avila took a loss to Jar Eubanks back in the year of 2020.
Very nice.
It was COVID times.
Not a good loss to have.
Sure isn't.
Real quick before we get to the other, just like the more notable ones that I know, like, that we're going to talk about. Rafael Estevam, undefeated fighter on this card. We are 4-10 undefeated fighters 2025. What are your guys' predictions right now on the undefeated status for him after this card? Taking on Jesus Aguilar.
Only 1-2?
Yes.
Danny St. Aguilar.
3-1 in the UFC. This one lost beating to Tatsudo Taira. Not a shame in that at all.
Damn. No. Oh my God. Okay, but he's also 5'4" with a 62.5-inch reach, and Estevam is 5'8" with a 69-inch reach.
That's a wild difference.
Yes, it is.
That is wild.
He might be able to keep that O in this fight.
28 years old, 4 wins by knockout, 3 by sub, 5 by decision.
He beat Charles Johnson.
Damn, he's solid. Kind of solid, though.
Yeah.
He split the second over him and Mateus, and then round 1 Gilly over Stuart Nickel. He took the O off of him. Is he going to miss weight in this one? Let's see.
Both missed weight in their last fights.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 fat boys going in there, and Jesus Aguilar going to take another O. Well, I mean, he is 1-1 against undefeated fighters in the UFC, so it's not a guarantee.
True. It's not a guarantee.
And I mean, shit, the last time Tatsuo Taira was 12-0 going into that one, so
yeah.
I don't know though, but it's just it's gonna take a while for me, I think, to get this out of my head of just undefeated fighter in 2025.
No, yeah, for sure.
No,
and it's like thing is I just don't know enough about Estevam, and I can't remember his fight with Charles Johnson. That was back in November of 23, his only fight. He was on Contender Series of 22, so it's just
been a while.
Yeah, the time goes by real quick with MMA. He is not in my head, so not really sure how that's gonna go.
Neither am I. With that
It'll probably be fun.
It'll probably be fun. With the size advantage, I'll say he's probably going to be able to keep his own. But Aguilar is good, so it's hard.
Yeah.
Let's go, though. Angela Hill, our girl, she is back taking on Ketlen Souza. You guys think Angie gets it done, or you think Ketlen, 29 years old, on her way up 2-1 in the UFC, 2-fight winning streak, just going to be able to be a bit more physical, just a bit more athletic and in there to get it done over Angie?
Ketlen Souza by a split decision that should have gone to Angela Hill.
Don't say that.
Both basically same size, 1.5-inch reach advantage for Angie, both 5'3".
Yeah, it's always hard because I don't know. Ketlen definitely very solid just on her way up. But just Angie, been around for fucking ever. And it's like, I know she's 40 years old, but she is still doing her damn thing. I don't question her losses because of her age. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
I don't know why. I feel like it doesn't pertain to her. She's just going to fight until she decides to stop, not her body. So with that, Angie definitely has just been fighting way more experienced and higher level people for so much longer that I'm just not sure if somebody, like, she lost to Karina Silva. Obviously, there's no shame in that. Gets a win over Marnik Man, Yasmin Yargui, just two other girls that are early in their career within the UFC. And just, you know what I mean? That it's like, what can you do with Angie? This will be a good test.
No,
100%.
Because it's like, Angie obviously has so many losses in the UFC. She's 12-14 in the UFC. But it's like, in all of reality... to like go back to a legitimate like bad loss for her, you have to go back to 2019 to her armbar loss to Randa Marcos when she was 8-5 going into that fight. Because it's like since then, Yan Xiaonan, okay, top 5 contender right now. Claudia was a top 5 contender. Michelle was a top 10 contender.
Those were split as well.
Tisha was the top contender. Amanda Lemos top 5. Vierno top 5. Mackenzie Dern top 5. Tabitha Ricci top 10. Like. She doesn't have bad losses. She doesn't get beat by bad people. Like she is just always too willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. Is clearly at a certain level of her skills, but is completely fine to fight out of that for no goddamn reason. You know what I mean? Like, So I just 29 years old for Ketlen Souza. Just not sure where exactly she's at, and if she's gonna be able to get it done. But just.
Yeah, to be fair to Angela Hill, 40 years old, never been TKO'd.
Yeah, dog.
Yes. Hell yeah. And
damn it, she's only been subbed twice. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. 14 losses and 12 of them are decisions and too many split decisions.
Yep.
Yeah, to be fair, only 4 split decisions.
Too many.
Well, 4 split decision losses, 1 split decision win.
Let's go. And then last one, Gabriel Bonfim, also on this card, taking on Khaos Williams. We're here.
Okay. Bonfim was supposed to fight Renat Fakhretdinov.
Yeah.
And I preferred that fight a lot more. I really did. Because Renat is wild. He throws super crazy overhands that's easy to duck under. He also shoots for his own takedowns, and sometimes pretty early into the fight where Bonfim would snatched up his neck, no problem. I was pretty confident in that, you know?
Yep.
But Khaos Williams is only 30 years old. He's 6-2 in the UFC. And he can just land a shot that can knock out just about anybody, you know?
Yep. Fucking dynamite in those hands. It is fucking just a dead man switch of a fist. Just
So it's like, I think that this is what I hope. Like, I want Bonfim to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's just like, I just hope that he can find the takedown because he does have like good wrestling to be able to do that. Because if he can, I believe he can finish him.
Yes.
He is really good with the submissions. But if Khaos lands that big shot on him, I also don't doubt that Khaos knocks him the fuck out, you know?
For sure. And because it's one of those things where it even on the feet, Bonfim can still get it done. He just has to be very mindful. He just has to be mobile. You know what I mean? Land his shots, get in, get out. But he just can't stay in for combinations and trying to exchange with him because that's when he'll get caught.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bonfim can definitely win this. It is very risky fight though.
Damn, the only person to take down Khaos Williams in his UFC career was Michel Pereira. Got 2 takedowns on him.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
He has an 80% takedown defense.
When we first heard about this fight, I was very much no, Bonfim could get this. This isn't as bad as you guys were. But now that we're closer, I'm Khaos about to knock out Bonfim. I actually feel that.
It doesn't have to happen. And I do think that Bonfim can get it done. Fuck. It's sad.
It's risky. I mean, it's not every win for Khaos has been a knockout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's he overall in his career, he's got 7 knockouts, 6 decisions, 2 subs. So it's not 4 knockouts out of his 6 wins in the UFC. But yeah,
you know what? That's true. He's knocking out Alex Morono, Abdul Razak Al Hassan, Miguel Baeza, Carlston Harris. You're right. Bonfim's fine. He's gonna go out there, take him down, and sub him first round.
Let's go. But yeah, his good fight, risky fight. Very interested to see how this plays out for sure, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go. That is this card from the Apex for the UFC. We were supposed to have Juju Miller, Carly, Judice on this one.
That would have been so fun.
Oh my God. It's just, yes, but goddamn, we don't need that for either of them. Just cut them both from the fucking UFC. Out of love. It's one of those, we were saying with Prado. It's out of love.
Yeah.
You gotta fight some other people to get good sometimes. Oh my goodness.
Too early, too young.
Exactly. But let's go. We do got some fight news to talk about. Not the most, but it is some good shit for sure.
Yeah.
March 15th, UFC Apex. We got a fight at 170 pounds. I know Chidi was asking for top 15 after, I think, 2 wins in a row in the division, maybe 3, I forget exactly, but on a little roll at 170 after moving down from 185. Yes. He don't get top 15. No one thought he was getting top 15.
Well, no, because, he had 2 wins, and it was Reese McKee and Jared Gooden.
Yeah, but I remember he was I want to fight top 15.
Oh, no, but I'm just saying that, of course he wasn't going to get it.
Yeah.
But this is a good, close step up.
Yeah.
A win over him could get it.
Whatever.
Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos is the man that Chidi ends up getting. Older vet in the division. Banger, though.
Yes.
No, yeah. Whatever. Elizeu should definitely be able to get you into the top 15 rankings.
Damn, I did not realize that Chidi was already 36.
Yeah, he is on the older side, yes.
I'm not sure that they're going to really be too concerned with pushing him, if I'm going to be honest. The win over him might not get him a ranked guy.
I mean, I could see it getting him Luke.
But... Yep.
Someone like that. Someone literally Luke. That's all I can see, but...
Oh, fuck. We don't matchmake Luke around here no more.
You don't matchmake Luke.
Yeah, that's why I said around here. All right. But no, yeah, it's one of those things where just depending on how good the win is and what the UFC wants to do, timelines, all that, it definitely could end up with him fighting top 15. But like you said, 36, they probably don't actually care to push him like that. So who knows what they'll actually do.
It's if they do give him a shot, do you think that they'll just give him someone like MVP and be like, MVP, get a win? You know what I mean?
That's possible. I feel like they're throwing MVP up. I feel like it would be Luke.
Yeah, MVP is going to just be bigger fights. You know what I mean? Something that's going to be fun, wacky. I don't know if that will be good enough, but let's see if the kickbox and Muay Thai of Chidi is able to get it done over the capoeira of Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. Let's go.
Yep.
Next one. I'm so happy about this. I got so mad at Ginger in the UFC for a minute because it was supposed to be Usyk versus Asu. My draft pick versus his draft pick. I did it on purpose. As soon as he picked Asu, I was like, well, I'm going Usyk as the counter pick. And then they were like, we're scrapping it. We are doing Ursig Moreno, which wasn't confirmed. Big Marcel posted it, and I think they took it down in, like, I'm pretty sure in, like...
I don't know if I ever saw it from Big Marcel, but I saw it just rumored in a lot of places, it being in talks. Like,
Yeah, but they finally made that official. Ursig Moreno, March 29th, main event, Mexico City. Let's go. And then they were going to do Asu Almabayev taking on fucking Alan Nascimento. And I was like, this is some motherfucking bullshit. Why do I get a much harder fight? Ginger gets an easy win. Fucked up. But then motherfucking Royval goes and pulls out of his main event against Manel Cop. So what do? They scrapped the fight they just booked between Asu and Alan, and they said, hey, Asu, take your first main event, short notice, against Manel Cop after going through 2 potential other opponents. So a much harder fight for Asu.
Yes.
Very different style matchup for Manel Cop, expecting Royval.
I will say that there are a couple good things for Asu. That one, it is all for the same date, so it's not like he has to extend his camp or take it in quicker, like sooner.
True.
Like the Steve Ursig, Alan Nascimento, and even Manel, they were all March 1st. And then with this, it's like it's March 1st. I know we're talking about it now, like February 9th, but it's been announced for a few days at this point. So it's obviously not the longest camp, but at least it's not like, a week's notice, take on this new guy. At least he does have like a solid month to adjust himself to a new person. Not saying it doesn't suck, but just a little bit positive, you know?
No,
100%.
But yeah, just number one contender in a fucking lethal, wacky striker in Royval that's scrambling all over the place.
I feel like the biggest
hard-nosed, short fucking grappler in Asu.
I feel like the biggest difference, though, that for Asu is that he was booked for 3-round fights.
Yes.
And now, on a month's notice, he has to train for that 5 rounds. So I feel like that's going to be like the biggest issue.
For sure. 100%.
But yeah, so we will see how that one plays out. But sadly, I guess I have to root for Manel Cop finally once in the UFC. So Jim takes another loss on his draft. So let's fucking go.
We could root for a no contest, a draw.
Yeah, not as fun though.
Those are just as fun because he doesn't take a win.
True.
And Manel also doesn't take a win.
Very true. Very true.
I was going to say, and it makes for the draft to be funnier because then all of a sudden I'm the only one who's like blank, 1 draw, 1 no contest.
Let's go. Let's see how both of those fights play out, though, at flyweight. And then, for Moreno Ursig, that's a fucking... I hate what they're doing for Ursig.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Champ, former champ. Like...
Yeah.
No, wait.
Former title.
Yeah. I don't know why I was saying he fought someone else. Title. Whatever.
But yeah. It just, either way, it's like close fight with the champ, getting knocked out by a top 5 guy, and now going to the number 2 contender main event in his home country.
Yeah,
and this will be his 6th fight within the UFC. It's like, bro, he's had 5 fights. This is the time to step him back for a second. Let him get on a win streak. What are you fucking doing? Not saying that he can't win. It'll be fun. It'll be competitive. But it's like, if he does lose this fight, I'll just feel extra bad because it's like, bro, this should not have happened, you know?
Exactly.
If anything, they should have rebooked Ursig and Asu and then done Manel versus Brandon Moreno.
That's fucking true.
That is very true. Because I'm pretty sure March 1st is in the Apex. They should have just done Moreno Manel Cop in fucking Mexico City.
Yes.
Yeah, because you were going to give him Brandon Royval and stop. I'm mad that you brought that up because now
I didn't even think of it until right now, and I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't they do this?
Damn.
This is
like maybe that was an option, and Manel Cop's like, I'm not fighting in fucking Mexico City. Like, fuck that elevation. Like,
that's possible, but I don't think that's what happened. It could have been, but
I would not blame any fighter saying fuck fighting at over 7,000 feet elevation. Like,
I get it. It's just like one of those things.
Especially a main event, like, that's fucking killer. But that would definitely be the much smarter rifle play. Oh my god, that's so upsetting. God fucking damn it, Ginger. Moving on. In Mexico City, we got a fucking my goodness, what a
banger.
A
disaster.
Oh my Daniel Zellhuber taking on Elves Brenner. Bro, Brenner's gonna get absolutely mollywopped in this fight. I am so scared for him.
Yeah, me too, because it's like last year he took 2 very bad losses to Miktabek and Joel Alvarez, but that wasn't even the first fight of his goddamn week for both of those fights, because he looked like he was just like on the brink of death in his weight cuts.
Yeah.
He looked like he made weight. Good for him for like being able to get there, but he looked like he really struggled to do it. And these are just such hard fights to be in if you were having terrible weight cuts.
Yep. Just just these guys are bangers, So and just the height and length, like it's gonna be a real problem for him, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I am happy that he at least took 7 months off from this, because between the Miktabek and Joel was literally 3 months. So, you know what I mean? It also could have been the fast turnaround with the Joel one, because that was definitely the more notably bad one, and then just, getting finished in it. But this is so rough.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out, but it will be a great fight. It will be a whole lot of fun as long as it lasts, but we'll see how that goes. April 5th, we got a pretty solid scrap at 145 pounds. Joe Anderson Brito taking on Pat Sabatini. If I am really unsure of if Pat's just going to be able to go out there, grab a takedown, and just dominate, or if Brito's just going to lay some hands on him and be able to get the knockout.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be an interesting fight either way.
3 of Pat's losses are by knockout, so he can definitely get out of there. And they are one of them was an arm injury, so 2 times, but they were both in the first round.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's definitely a chance, but if he can survive and get going, he might be able to do enough to win a decision.
For sure, 100%.
Maybe even get a sub, because he's definitely real good with his subs.
Oh yeah. But that is a great fight, April 5th. Let's go. Then next couple things, no other fights. This one, potential fight rumors, though. Not sure if this is going to actually play out, but if it does, it would be a great fight. Potential fight for Mexico City. Marlon Chito Vera taking on Mario Bautista.
Yeah.
Ginger, how do you feel about that fight if we get that?
With that one, obviously, Chito needs to be fighting someone down in the rankings. This fight makes sense. Bautista just beat Jose Aldo in his last one. Honestly, I think Chito might be able to win this fight. He hits hard. He downloads the data in the first round, but look at what happened to Rob Font. And Bautista, I don't think he's going to be able to grapple Vera the same way he grappled Jose. Because once it's on the ground, it's hard for Chito to get up. But if it's against the cage, you're not gonna get him down. That's for some reason he's able to defend on the cage as opposed to down distance.
Yeah, because it's me and Kate were talking about a little bit where Jose was just super content to just sit on the cage and try and see if the ref was gonna break it up or something and not really fight off, kind of like he did in the Marab fight. But it's Chito is not going to do that. He's not going to just be as submissive in that position, but he also has nowhere near as good of takedown defense as Jose. So, it's very interesting to me if Mario would be able to get the grappling off. And, just out on the feet, it's Mario is very solid, but I don't know if it's just going to be where Chito just lands those couple of shots and Mario is just what the fuck? He's getting rocked, getting, damaged up, and so it's just going to Chito, that would be a very good fight. Just a good fight for both of them at this point in their careers, too.
And a great fight for Mexico City.
Oh, yeah. For sure. But let's go. That would be a whole lot of fun. Next one, we're supposed to get Dom Cruz taking on Rob Font February 22nd. That is no longer happening. Dom Cruz had a pullout, just 2 shoulder dislocations in 8 months leading up to this fight. And he ended up calling it a day, retiring from the sport of MMA. It just sucks. I really wish he was able to get one more fight to just go out there, have the moment of the UFC making a package, just doing something for him. But 39 years old, I'm pretty sure he is. I totally understand just hanging it up after more consecutive injuries after all this time. It's just seeing something where he made his UFC debut in 2011. And since then, just all the combined injuries and total layoff time he has had has been 10 years in some amount of months. It's he has had like 4 solid years of work in the UFC across 14 years, and to this day is still considered one of the greatest bantamweights of all time. Like, it is crazy everything he's been through, and to still have the accolades that he does.
Yeah. Great career. Sucks that it has to go out that way, but yeah, it is what it is at that point. Like, he has literally been riddled with injuries, unfortunately, throughout his career.
Yeah, just fucking head to toe. Like, it just everything that you could fucking get. Like, it's just, it definitely sucks. The one thing I am really disappointed about too is that, like, you know, on the last fight card, they did like have the little moment of like talking about it. Didn't even have like a package or anything. And it's just like all the fucking footage from WEC and UFC and all the moments and everything. And it's like he fucking works on the broadcast and everything too. And it's like you couldn't even have like a little fucking highlight packages.
Do you think that's why they didn't do it though? Do you think maybe they're gonna have him like there the next the next card, and they're gonna do it then?
That's possible.
I just feel like it's kind of weird to bring it up then.
I mean, it is, but it also, like,
I guess just acknowledging it.
Yeah, and like having the moment like on the broadcast with him,
like,
there.
Because they've had like Mark Coleman do the walk before. They had Matt Hughes do the walk when, like, he was after he got into the accident and all that. So, like, I could see them doing something like that.
You know? That's very possible.
Very true.
Sure. But yeah, so just sucks for Dom, just everything, but he's a legend of the sport, and it's just nice that he at least has like the UFC fucking like broadcasting and shit, you know. So he's set outside of fighting, and he'll be good, you know.
Yeah.
And then the last thing to bring up on the last fight card on the broadcast, announced a fight into the fight wing for the UFC Hall of Fame. Israel Adesanya in his interim title fight win against Kelvin Gastelum. That was just such a great moment watching that and everything. It just definitely that fight deserves to be there for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like that fight was going to get in there at one point or another. It makes sense for it to happen now.
Yeah, it just an absolute war between the two of them. It's like easily that was the best night of Kelvin Gastelum's like career, of just how he performed in the peak of his prime. You know what I mean? It's just, even though he lost just Israel on his way up in his prime, just like, it took him to his limits. Great fight. Absolutely amazing. And very deserving for both of them to get that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But let's go. That is all of the things to bring up for this episode of the podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. And we will catch you hopefully on a very fun review to this Apex card. Let's go. Peace out, everyone.